Hey, this is Mark the Meerkat with Grok Trade with the trade of the day, and today's trade was on XPEV. It was an ascending triangle. Let's take a look at it here. Here it was at opening, and it was up big. I mean, like 25-30% at opening. Ran up here, did a bull pullback here, and then it was high basing up here, or an ascending triangle. Want to know more about an ascending triangle? Just go to freeonlinetradingeducation.com to our free chart school. That's right, up here it says chart school. We'll hit on that. And then here are the patterns that we trade in the Grok day trading chat room, and that we also teach in our mentoring class, and more about our mentoring class a little later. Ascending triangle right there. We click on it, and what it does is it shows you the pattern where you have a horizontal line here when it's getting tighter and tighter like a coiled spring. And here's a description of it here. And then there's also some examples from real charts here. These white ones are from daily candles. These are each one day. This was for swing trading. And you can see this one broke out big here. Here's one broke out, and this one's just set up right now. This was one from an ascending triangle from a previous day trading one that I had done a video on. So those are some examples of them there. So let's take a look here next at what we had here. So setting up. So I went ahead and I set a trade right up here. If it had to break 950 for me to want to get in, so I had it set right there ready to go, and with my 1% attached stop. Here we go. Let's see what happened next, and boom, it broke out, and I got in at 951 and have a 1% attached stop at 942. As it's starting to proceed up here. And these are 1 minute candles that I'm trading off of here on my intraday trading. And now it's stalling up here a little bit. So I'm going to bring my stop up here in the money by just a couple of pennies. But I'm going to stay below this 8 EMA to have a little shield there for it. And also this 960 may act also as a resistance and support right there. It may also act as a bit of a shield. Let's see what happened next. And it was rising up here. And then it started to base again right there. And right now I have to call a timeout because my wife was having a baking emergency. She needed to bake something for a meeting this afternoon, and I had to run to the store. So I set, it was stalling up here. And so I took out half at 983 for 3.3% on the first half. And then I set my stop. Now, I know it's a strange situation here, but I'm going to set my stop here. I took out half of my shares that I had on that one, and I set it at 968. And I went ahead and I ran to the store. It was only gone about 10 or 15 minutes. Meantime, the market continues. That's okay. I have made 3% on it so far on the first half. Let's see where it goes from there. And as you can see, it's been running here today. It's now up like 35% at this point. And then before we move on here, let's take a look. Would you like to trade the Grok Trade way? So before we go on here, let's take a look at the mentoring program for a moment. We are having a mentoring class coming up in this December. We have one scheduled coming up, and what it is, our mentoring program starts with 3 days of intense training, and then we are your mentor from that point forward to implement all the new knowledge that you have regarding your trading, because knowledge is nothing if you don't know how to apply it properly. So you go to groktrade.com, and you go right up here to Training Mentor. And a way for you to get a lot of information that's customized just to what you want to know about is that this video here is loading, and it has Des there. And what he does is about a 2-minute video, and then he asks you a question. And depending on your response to that, the next video will then answer to your response to his question. And this is a whole matrix of different information about our mentoring program, but it will you don't have to only listen to what applies to you. And then at the end of that, if you'd like to talk about the possibility of doing it, this really cuts down the time of you getting information about it. And then we can talk to you live and see if it's going to be appropriate for you to be in our mentoring program and start with that 3 days of intense training. And again, that's coming up here in about 2 weeks, I believe. So get on board right now, and we'll be able to get you ready for that mentoring. So let's get back to the trade. I'm out at the store, and I got my stop sitting here. I did not do a trailing stop, which we do sometimes, but this time I just left it here at 968. And let's see again, these are 1 minute candles, and sure enough, it's started to drop off its high base, and look at that. dipped down just enough to get me out at 968 for 1.8% on the second half. So let's take a look at this whole trade, but then let's take a look at what happened next. So again, it was in an ascending triangle. It broke out above that 950 resistance area, and I got in. When it stalled up here, I went ahead and I took out half, and then I had to step away, so I did have an in-the-money stop, pull back and got me for a total of 2.5% in 17 minutes. And I wasn't even here, right? So, but look what happened after that. After it dipped down here below that 20 moving average and got me out, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Still going, still going. Look at this. Went up to 1030. So that's another 5% run up here before it was basing. And right now you can see where that yellow thing is. It's at 1062. That's it currently here at 1 o'clock is where the current price action is. Oh, here, let's run it all the way over here to 1 o'clock. And you can see it's now up 44% on the day. And let's do that here. 44% on the day up here at the 1060 area. Wow. So this is Mark the Meerkat. Hey, just remember Meerkat trading rule number 10, and that is it's not the news accounts, it's the market's reaction to the news. Now, why would I give that lesson today? Well, it's because XPEV had earnings this morning. They lost less money than they thought they would, but they missed on their revenue, and they lowered their guidance, and they're up for 44% on the day. See, it's not the news accounts, it's how the market reacts to that news. Trade well, and may your winners run.